Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CI/CD Express conference from the Semaphore. I'll be your host today for this topic. My name is Miloš, and I will talk about overriding fear of CI/CD. I'm the Android developer, and I work for the ProGlove company, as you can see in top left corner. So let's start with this thing. So, what is the first thing when you think of the CI? So the first thing is, if it works, don't touch it. So that's what all of us are thinking, right? So, but what happens if that's not the case? What if happens that your CI is not working as it used to be? Your CI is experiencing a lot of trouble. So this is something that I will try to give a couple of answers that we have within our integration, that we have with our change of hearts with the CI. So how to know when you need to change your CI, when it's giving you the headaches, how to approach the selection of CI, the benchmark of CIs, and of course what everyone's manager is always asking, how much money will that cost? So let's continue. How to know when your CI is giving you more headaches than the benefits? So first thing is if your CI is outdated. So if the software that is using is too old, if the machines are too old, if tools are not supported, if the newer versions, for instance, since I'm working on the Android platform, if the new versions of the Android are not supported and it takes for you more time to install new versions than to have it easier approach. So when your CI is slow, this is something that we experienced a lot of time, and this is something that took us a lot of time within our release processes. So that was just something that we had to address. And of course, if your CI is unreliable, and this is something that happens for us a lot of time, that just when you start building something, it just collapses and you have no idea why is it. You're going through the stack traces, but that's just not enough. So how we approach the selection of the new CI. So first of all, a couple of guys had experience with some CI, so we try to see which CIs we already know how they breathe, how they're implemented, and what are their pros and cons. So then we check the industry preferred CIs. After that, we check out of those CIs, how are they with their support? How are they with their security? Did they have their security breaches? After that, we checked out a couple of them that were most suitable for our Android purposes, since some of the CIs are mobile development related. So we tried to check on those as well. We have time boxed the implementation, so we tried to make some proof of concept and to have some kind of working project that we can then benchmark to some other implementations. After that, when we saw what are the benefits of one and others, we have approached to the support of the CIs, to their sales, pre-sales, whatever they're called, and we try to organize a meeting, to see how they're supporting, to see how they're having their support system with the implementation. Of course, we have investigated pricing models. Most of the pricing models are working on the same, they're having the same principle. Of course, after that, we came to the benchmarking of the chosen CIs, which is the integration time, how much time we needed to integrate it, the build time of the project, how much time does it need to build, the security, support for new versions, etc. So the benchmark, since this is the this is this is the conference where we will not point fingers in any of the colleagues from the CI. We'll just say that the previous CI, which is we'll rename unnamed, and the current CI that we have decided to go with, which is the Semaphore. So within the build time, we came from 40 plus minutes, sometimes even 50 plus minutes, to 15 minutes per build, which is pretty good. So that's almost 3 times less. Integrations, in order which kind of integration they are having supported. Most of them are having the same integration supported. So in that case, we're pretty much the same and on point. Secret variables. This is something that's pretty neat within, especially within the semaphore. You can pretty easy add new secret variables, new secret files, and it's easily changeable. It's easily, you can just modify everything through the CMS system of the semaphore, while the secret variables within the previous CI was a nightmare. So you need to download their CLI, then you need to make some, then you need to push it from your computer, etc. It's pretty difficult and pretty much time consuming. Debugging of both on both CIs were pretty easy, so I will not spare my time on that. And implementation. For me as an Android developer, so I'm not a CI guy, so I don't have that much experience with scripts and everything. Implementation was the best part that we had. It was so smooth, so easy. The support was great. Everything was just going smooth. The syntax is pretty easy of the YAML file, while for some CIs, at least the previous one, the syntax is pretty chaotic. You don't know what is called when. You need to dig up pretty deep so you would be able to know what are you doing. And of course, within the semaphore, you have there what they call the visual builder, where you pretty much can just go and click on some buttons and most of your integration can already be implemented. Also, since we're doing the Android, Docker images, pretty important thing, because they're having already predefined registries for the Android versions. And now, since we are migrating our Android to the Android 33 or the Android 13 supported version, the only thing that we had to do on the semaphore is just go within our script and just change the registry from 31 to 33. That's less than a minute of work. While on the previous CI, we pretty much had to do a lot of things because they didn't even have a Docker thing. They didn't even have a support for newer versions of the Ubuntu, which most of these machines are working with. The costs, the final thing and the most disturbing thing for all of us. The thing is, the previous CI and the semaphore are having a pretty different models of the pricing. So in that case, we're still testing, will this be beneficial for us or will not? But from the first things that we can see, it seems that we will be on point and probably we will spare some money on our CI, on our new CI than with the previous CI that we were. Of course, the most important thing is that we're having a less build time, we're having a faster deployment, we're having a faster releasing, and what's more important, we're having reliable releasing. So we're not experiencing anymore that we start our build and our build just crash and then we just need to rebuild and hope for the best or something. There's nothing more like that. So it's pretty confident. Of course, as I said, we're currently seeing a little bit of 15 minutes shy of a build time, but that's with some kind of the, let's say, regular approach. Of course, with a little bit more of the optimization, I hope that we can bring our build time to less than 10 minutes, which is pretty good. And that's all with unit tests going through, with your coverage, with your builds and everything. So that's pretty good, at least for us, where we were looking at previously at 45-50 minutes. So it's pretty good. That's it from my side. If you have any questions, want to ask anything, feel free to reach out, and have a nice conference.